Hey guys, in this video we're going to do the Proline Trencher upgrade for the DBXL-E 2.0. Now these tires are not designed to go on this car, but with a small bit of modification you can get them on. Now the question is, will these tires function properly on this car? And in the video here you'll find out what the good side and the bad side of these tires are, and decide for yourself whether you want these on your rig. Now keep in mind that this is an 8S car and these tires are kind of soft and they do grow, so keep that in mind. Also, if you want to run these, there's a couple of modifications you might want to make, and we'll go over those as well. So let's get right to it, guys. Let's show you how to get them on the car and let's take it out and test it. One thing, everything as far as running gear goes is stock. So this is what you'll get out of the box. So if you just switch them over from the stock tires and you put these on, that's what you're going to have, guys. And then we'll show you the modifications that are necessary to make them work properly, and then we'll show you how it works. So check this out. Okay guys, so here they are, the Proline Trenchers. Now these tires here, they're actually designed to fit the Xmaxx. Notice a smaller hole in the center. There you go. Look at that. It's a lot bigger. So you're going to need a tool such as this with a Christmas tree bit, but first, take a look at the center hole. This hole is much smaller on the trencher, and that's so that it'll fit the Xmaxx. Now we're going to have to bore that hole out to match. Take a look at the inside. There's still the right diameter for the hex drive, but the hole itself is too small, so we're going to go ahead and make that bigger. Now be real careful doing this, guys. These Christmas tree bits, they have a tendency to grab. What you want to do is pre-check your drill. Notice the ink I have on that. That marks which ring I'm trying to go to match what's there on the stock tires. So it makes it a lot easier to control. Just ream the hole out a little bit, clean it so everything's good. There you go, like so. Now it should be the proper size. Now these little stubs right there, those are the little plastic lug nuts just for style, but they get in the way of the lug wrench when you go to assemble this. So we need to remove those, get them down flat. I've got a small set of side cutters, and those do a good job of getting things cleaned up. So go ahead and snip these off. They look nice, but they do get in the way because it's, we're actually using a larger nut to fix these on, so they need to be removed. And you won't really notice it all that much when they're on the car. So here you go. See, now they're gone, nice and clean. Beautiful. So let's try and get it on the car. Okay. And these are good tires we're taking off, guys. They're good, but pre-check it first. I know it's backwards, but just to make sure that it goes through the hole the way it should. Now we're going to turn it around and put it on. Bolt it down, run it down. Do not drive it down tight with this tool. You're going to want to torque those by hand, guys. Go ahead and put the front one on, just like so. And this is the socket that came with the car, and it's really nice that it's got the driver end on it, so you can use a machine like this. But definitely torque these by hand. These cars weigh a lot, guys, so torque is important. So there you go. It looks pretty cool with those on it. You know, it's a nice little upgrade. It's not a big deal. But Once you get them affixed, it really looks a lot meaner. What do you think of that, guys? And take a look in here. See how all those snipped off little lug nuts would get in the way of that wrench? That's all it takes to make them fit. The size difference is negligible. It's a little bit bigger. It's definitely wider. But weight for weight, they're real similar. Okay guys, here we are at one of my favorite locations. I've got the Losi DBXL-E 2.0 out with the Trencher tires from Proline. So this is the first place we brought this truck. Initially, it was snowy then and wet and sloppy. Today we're gonna test this thing and see if the tires make a difference. They don't weigh a whole lot more, guys. However, we do have dirt bikes running through here, so it's gonna be interesting. Let's do this. Okay guys, let's see what it does. Well, I don't see them lasting too long. Do you see how those grow? Alright, so you guys showed me a trick that's pretty cool, and basically all you need is a leash. It'll clip right on the front if you got a good sized one, and you don't have to pick it up till you get to the car. You guys are so smart. Awesome. So there you go, that's the footage of the initial. Now keep in mind, guys, that this completely stock car ran with just the modifications of the tires, and if you paid close attention to the video, and you'll see it right here, the front tires grow very big and the back tires don't grow at all. And that's partially because of the 50K oil that comes from the factory. Now we did have to do an upgrade on the oil and we raised it up to 500K Check this out. Okay guys, so I want you to pay attention to the way the tires swell. Now, they grow up a lot more evenly now, and if you'll notice, it doesn't take much to get the front wheels up in the air because of the change in dip fluid. However, that change plus the tire size made control on this thing a lot easier. See that wide turn? That was full turn, guys. These tires are big enough to where you need to upgrade your servo to run them because of the mass of, you get traction when they hit the ground, and as you crank the wheels, the servo's a little too weak to handle it. Still, I'm amazed at how tough this car is. Oh yeah. Nice. And as you see there, guys, the tires are growing evenly now, and they didn't do that before. Even when you take off in the dirt, it lights them all four up instead of just spinning the fronts, and that makes it much more manageable. However, one thing you have to keep in mind here is it's not like locking, it's not like locking it down at all. Because if you lock it, it's a lot harder on the drivetrain. This still allows the front and the rear to move independently with the 500K in there, so impacts won't be so hard on the drivetrain. If you lock them down, you'll start breaking axles and stuff like that. So I highly recommend the stiffer fluid, but you want to have something that still allows movement within the car. Well, there you go, guys. That's the running footage for the upgraded vehicle. Now, we did change out the center differential in this thing, and we put in the 500K oil. And if you take a look and check this out, guys, notice how the tires grow evenly now. Huge difference. We've got a lot more control in the air. Backflips become easy, and the car handles it just fine. We jumped all afternoon with no damage on the car to speak of as far as that goes. Still, there are a couple other upgrades you need to put inside of this thing. One, you've got more tire to deal with. You've got more traction, more girth, and it makes it a lot harder for that simple little servo that comes with the car to handle it. Definitely upgrade the servo given the option. With the servo upgrade and the differential fluid upgrade, this car becomes a beast, and it's a lot more fun to play with. I still like the stock tires and wheels, guys, don't get me wrong, and these upgrades should not affect that at all. Swap back to your stock tires and it'll still handle good, but it'll be a bit more controllable in the corners, because instead of ballooning the front tires every time you pin it, it's going to give you a little more push in the back, so it's going to get you around those corners a little easier. And also, guys, when you stab it from a dead stop, now instead of exploding the front tires, it gets the back ones working, and if you noticed in the video, it stood up a lot more, which makes it a lot more exciting to play with. So there you go, guys. That's the Trencher upgrade. I really do enjoy this. These are kind of soft, and initially I couldn't run them at full power because with that light diff fluid, it just tried to rip them off the wheels. But once we swapped out the diff fluid, everything worked fine. Okay, guys, so there's a couple things I want to talk about real quick just before we call this good, and one of them is the tires. Now, these are the stock tires, and these come with it, and they are really good tires, guys. They handle really well. They've got kind of a neoprene core in there that doesn't grow much. The tires grow a little bit. You can see them swell, but nothing compared to what the Trenchers will do. They do grow pretty good, but the cool part about that is when they rotate and grow, it gives you more inertia. That gives you more control in the air, so when you spin them up, it'll stand, and when you hit the brakes, it'll come over hard. So the wider they get, the bigger the tires get, the more inertia they carry, and that's a good thing. However, if you do get two tires down and you light one of them up, it can overspin, and it looked to me like they could come apart. So keep that in mind, guys. And the second part of this is a big car, guys. It's got a lot of weight to it. It goes really fast, and it's something that shouldn't be run in a really small area. Now, I was jumping in the front yard, and I did have to keep the power down quite a bit because this one has the capability to get into the power lines if I get on it too hard. So I wasn't jumping at full speed. This car will go way farther than that, and hopefully in a future video you're going to see it do exactly that. The point on this one was to see how the tires grew. It handled good, I knew that. The change in the diff fluid gave me more control, it gave me more dig on the back end, and it's set the car up the way I like it. Now that's what I like. It may not work for you. So that's what this video is about. This is our opinion, and drive them respectfully, guys, because this is a lot of weight, and with weight comes responsibility. So hey guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It's awesome when you do, and around here we really enjoy the feedback. You know, the comments are always cool, and we really appreciate it when you guys do leave comments. Now, we're doing this to try and help you understand what your options are. If you have any mods or upgrades that you've done to your DBXL-E, please leave it in the comments down below and help others along the way. Hey guys, I'm AJ with AJ Jam Studios saying, keep bashing, guys.